All right, you guys, can you hear me? Okay, good. Um, Obviously, we're 1-0 in the ACC, and the goal was to come out here today and be 1-0. It's a win. It was a lot uglier than I'd like it to be, and I told the team afterwards, just disappointed more with just the penalties that we had, just some stuff that you don't expect to happen at all. I can run down the things. I mean, Hargrove has a 15-yarder after a first down. We get a holding call after a quarterback scramble. We get a turnover down on the inside the 20-yard line, and we spin the ball and we get 15. Next series, we stop them. Thank God. Next series, we got a guy jumps over the punt wedge, I guess, which again you can't do it, and it's a freshman. But just things like that just can't happen. I just told him, championship teams don't do those things. Really, the entire game, 4 quarters, was really more about what we did, not what they did. So disappointed in the execution of just a lot of things today. But the defense played outstanding. We gave up 1 touchdown in the first half. It was a busted coverage, and really gave them that too. We gave them a field goal, and again gave them defense went 3 and out, and we gave them 3 points here. So really gave them the 10 points, just disappointing. So questions?
How did you think Rashad looked in his first game back?
I thought he looked outstanding. I thought, Rashad coming back, it was great to get him and Keyshawn back, and they practiced all week. It was good to get both of them back, and I'm sure we'll watch the tape and say there's a lot of things he could have got better at, but he's so smart and made a lot of plays today.
This game kind of looked a lot like last year. Were you kind of hoping to show more of a killer instinct in the fourth quarter of this season?
Of course we'd like to. And that's a disappointing thing. Again, I think it's just we kind of kept them in the game. We could have we could have knocked them out early in the third quarter. We gave them opportunities, and again the defense stood up and survived. Special teams still disappointed in our field goal team, and again a lot of things I'm disappointed in, but I'm happy we got the W.
Pat, was that the vibe too in the locker room post game with your players and assistant coaches that you guys feel like you guys maybe didn't do enough today?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, because I told them that's the vibe, and I'm sure they see it, they know it. I got guys coming up saying, "My bad, coach, I'll never do it again." But it's like that stuff can't happen. The details but you know what? You beat an ACC opponent, made a lot of mistakes, and still were able to win. By 2 scores, and I think that's the most important thing.
Pat, what do you make of some of the issues Alex Kessman had today?
I'm not sure. We had one was a hold problem, and 3. We'll look at the tape, and just try to figure out what he's doing wrong. And I believe going into the game, he was 6 for 6 against Syracuse, all time. The noise wasn't very much out there. They're screaming from the sideline. I guess I got to do more. We're going to bring a whole team up when we go field goal period and just scream and shout and whatever. I don't know. But we just didn't execute. And like I said, to not execute and still win the game is a positive.
Ed, you often like to say that the biggest improvement is from week 1 to week 2. Kind of what do you attribute maybe the miscues this week to? Is it mental? Is it physical? Is it maturity?
We grade every play mental and physical, so that's a great question. But, I'd say it's a lot of, physical and mental, really. When you look at it, it's a combination of it. I think our kids had a great week, as good a week as I can remember having, period, which I worried about, too. I was like, I think I told you guys the other day, Tuesday was so good that, I had to yell at him for something just to yell at him, because it was so clean. But we just didn't come out and execute. And again, give Syracuse, credit at times. They made some plays, but, you make your best improvements. Maybe we'll make our best improvements from ACC 1 to ACC 2. Great thing is you get a win and you can, we can go coach them hard on Sunday when we watch that tape and fix a lot of things.
Coach, you touched on it a little bit, but what impressed you the most about your defense today?
Oh gosh, their ability to get the quarterback. I don't know how many sacks we had, but the kids stayed in their lane. How many, EJ? 7. We had 7, so we're short from last year. So they did a better job protecting, and we missed a couple too. We let them go, and they had a couple, but just the pressure and really the coverage. Obviously when you're getting sacks, the coverage is good. Jason Pinnock played lights out as well. I've been impressed with that guy. That guy's playing. He's playing his tail off, and that wasn't that touchdown we gave up. Obviously was not his fault.
Who was supposed to be covering over the top there, Pat?
Say it again.
Who was supposed to be covering over the top?
I don't know. I have to go back and watch the tape, but it doesn't really matter. It's, we'll watch the tape and see, but we obviously didn't execute.
Coach, it looked like Kenny was getting pressured all afternoon, a lot of pressure. Could you just kind of comment down on that?
We'll look at the tape, but we knew, they always have a good pass rush. They did a couple things different, which we knew they would, like everybody's going to do. And they got a great coverage. I mean, they got a great secondary. That's a strength of their defense, and they did a nice job back there, with the pressure and also covered our guys.
Now, you mentioned earlier in the week that Kenny was a little bit underrated, maybe called the most underrated QB in the nation. Did he open some eyes today? Did he gain some respect?
He gains respect from me, so I don't decide what you guys decide or the national media decides, or what the ACC network says. I just know that guy's a good quarterback. He threw the one pick in the red zone. He thought they were a man, and the guy popped up out of nowhere. They usually are running with those crossers, and they didn't run, and the guy caught him off guard.
With Kessman's struggles here so far, Pat, does that maybe force you, when you get into fourth and relatively short situations inside the other team's 30, does that maybe prompt you to rethink your strategy in those kind of situations, just given the missed kicks so far?
Yes. Yeah, we always do, Craig. Based on the down and the distance, we're always thinking about going for it. That's our mindset, but it's got to be the right distance, no doubt about it. But we got a lot of faith in Alex. Again, he started off slow last year and then just heated it up. So, we just got to figure out what his issue is, and we got a lot of faith in him.
And did you like what Vincent was able to do in the offensive line those last 4 minutes, trying to kill the clock and kind of just get the game over with?
Yeah, I think there was a little over 4 minutes to go, and it was a 4-minute drill. And that's what we said. I got in that huddle and said, listen, we're going to end the game in a 4-minute drill. It's a drill we work a lot, and our offense executed to a T. They didn't use the timeouts, which was a little shock, but so it might have been a little harder. Would have been good to get a couple more plays in and really execute it, but they executed, ran, and got first downs.
Pat, in total, Vincent had 20 touches, 18 carries, and 2 catches. What has he kind of done, in practice to kind of separate himself and earn those opportunities?
He's actually been leading in the backfield, and just making plays last Saturday, and then again he had some nice hard runs today as well. But he's doing what we want him to do, and he earned those carries. I think AJ came in and played some good, did some good things. So did Daniel Carter. I'm happy with all those guys. But Vince had a nice day.
You got the 2 touchdowns in the passing game. It wasn't super consistent, but those were about those medium 17, 20-yard passes. When those were working, what were you guys doing right to get the ball into those spaces?
The one touchdown to Jordan Addison was a heck of a throw and a great route by Jordan. Just the way we drew it up and practiced it during the week, and we thought that was kind of money. But again, Syracuse doesn't give up many. I mean, you look at quarterback last week, I think we had more success than really he did throwing the ball down the field. They threw some bubbles, but Kenny threw the ball down the field. It was more impressive that way.
Maybe Jordan's play on third down right before the second touchdown. We think it's 3rd and 10, and he bowled for 12.
Yeah. What's the question?
I'm sorry, Pat. 3rd and 10, late in the second quarter, Jordan caught a pass on the sideline and bowled for 12 yards to get the first down.
It's a great play. It's an effort play. He's a guy, guy that we trust. We handed him off the ball a few times as well. He made some plays today, and he doesn't play like a freshman.
Pat, Lucas had a couple of drops today. Was that just first game jitters, were you able to talk to him about that?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to talk to him too much during the game. He dropped one, came back, caught one, then he drops another one that was right there. I don't need to beat him up. He'll beat up himself over that, and we just got to, get him on the jugs and keep working it. But maybe first game, being the guy, and we expect him to make those plays.
Pat, you guys average just under 3 yards a carry, and you talked about Syracuse's diverse fronts. What did you grade out, and what are your initial reactions to the way your offensive line played today?
I think they played okay. We'll watch the tape and see what we did and what we didn't do. It's hard to say, but they played well enough to win.
Do we have any final questions for Coach?
Yeah, Pat, I mean, some of the penalties seemed I guess random is maybe the best way to put it, but a couple of the illegal formations and things like that seem like things that could be cleaned up. What do you put on those happening here in the second game of the season? At this point.
Yeah, I think we had one in the opener, and we continue to just not get lined up perfect. And we had a couple on the punt team as well where we had some misalignments or just not being on the ball or off the ball. So we just got to clean them up and again go from week 2 to week 3 and clean that stuff up. We should have 0 pre-snap penalties. 0.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
And we'll resume shortly with our player representatives.
Or you can do a mute all quick. You can do a mute all quick, and then I'll just mute everybody, and then just start fresh. Seth or something like that. You would be going because there's an idiot like Lascelles. He has dolls on the phone. It was feedback. So it was just their phones were working fine, but they were sitting right next to each other, so they can hear each other. It just makes this never-ending loop. Last week there was no problem, but I had like 7 of them that had cell phones. This week I had like 1 or 2. Just those 2 guys. But we were 2 rows behind them. We were like, guys, just do one phone. Like, you're sitting next to each other. Put one phone on speakerphone and call it a day. Yeah, they don't ever talk. No, because he's listening. Exactly. Yeah, so if one of them just muted themselves, it would have been fine. Now, did you actually join? Or were you just witnessing it? We had just, you can hear feedback from like a mile away. I was back talking about it. Hi guys. Throw a chair. Nice. Said something about it exhausted. He said, take those who's guys. Said those guys. So you're in the press box. You could hear the feedback, and they're too stupid to turn the phone. So then we walked up and we were like, guys, just use like one phone or something. So yeah, I'm like, okay, I'll just get through it. Like, I've asked whoever's on there. But that's the problem with those Zooms. A lot of people right now are used to it. But when you get that one idiot, it's so dumb.
Our first player representative is Jordan Addison, wide receiver number 3. Congrats on your first career touchdown, Jordan. Do we have any questions for Jordan?
Jordan, what have these last 2 weeks been like for you, just being so involved? Obviously, last week was 7 catches, and today making an impact as well.
You know, I was just trying to do everything to help my team better. When they call my number, I'm just trying to make sure I'm there for them.
Do you feel like the training camp that you had, and even like the abbreviated spring ball, that kind of all of that is paying off right now? And how comfortable are you in the offense at this point in the season?
Yeah, I feel like all that paid off. Me coming in early to, learn the playbook, get connection with Kenny Pickett. So I feel like all that is great. And now I'm starting to get more comfortable. This is my second game now, so I feel like everything is starting to feeling like home now.
Jordan, you talk about the third down catch near the end of the first half where you plowed for the first down.
Excuse me, sorry, can you say that again, please?
You talk about the third down catch at the end of the first half on the sideline there where you plowed for the first down.
Oh yeah, I seen the coverage, so I knew it was coming to me, and I was trusting Kenny to make a good throw, and he put it there, and I just trusted myself to catch it. It was just a great play.
Did you think they were going to stop you before you got to the sticks?
Say that again, please.
Did you think they would stop you before you got to the sticks?
Oh no, my coach had told me before he went out there. He said make sure you know where the sticks are. So when I caught the ball, I just made one move and make sure I got vertical to get the first down.
Jordan, when Pat came in here, he was kind of lamenting, saying he was disappointed in some of the mistakes, the penalties and stuff. I mean, what was sort of the vibe in the locker room after the game?
We just got to be more disciplined. We kept them out in the game long. They're a great team, but I think we hurt ourselves a lot with the penalties. So we're going to go clean that up, watch film, and then get better next week.
Jordan, did you think there was any, from your vantage point, did you think there was any kind of a common thread to the penalties or a common theme to them?
No, we was just shooting ourselves in the foot, and we hurt ourselves.
Jordan, how did it feel, the first touchdown there? I mean, what were the kind of initial thoughts that were going through your head after securing the catch and getting to the sideline and everything?
It felt unreal. I can't even explain the feeling. I'm still trying to live it.
Was that a play where you, as you lined up before the snap, you kind of saw it was going to be there and you were going to have a good shot to get into the end zone?
Yeah, I seen it coming. We've been working on that play all week, and Kenny made a great throw, so I'm just happy it all worked out that way.
Jordan, you go up against them in practice every day, but what do you have to say about your defense's performance today?
I think our defense helped us out a lot. When we couldn't get the ball down the field, they helped us. They helped us on third downs, big plays, a lot of sacks. So I feel like that was great.
Any final questions for Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan, you had talked some about building a connection with Kenny, with this being your first year here. What all goes into building that kind of a relationship? Like, what steps have you guys taken to sort of establish that rapport and that connection?
Really, I think it's just communicating more off the field. He said good morning to me when we come in for breakfast or lunch. I feel like that builds, and that just helps out a lot.
Jordan, it's been 2 games, obviously, but you've been by far the leading receiver in terms of catches and targets. Did you kind of figure that was going to happen, or was that a little bit of a surprise to you? And I don't know, when did you kind of realize, I guess, that you were going to be a really big part of this offense this year?
I'm not really sure. I just, when they call my number, I just try to step up and make that play for my team.
Maybe was there a moment where you kind of thought to yourself, like, oh, okay, this is happening? Like, they're going to throw me the ball a lot?
Yeah, once I started seeing, like, the coverages and getting a lot of the bubbles, I knew I had to step up to the plate and just help my team out.
Do you still feel like a freshman, Jordan?
You say that again, please?
Do you still feel like a freshman? You become such a big part of the team. It's almost like you're a little older than that.
Nah, yeah, I feel like I've been here before. They brought me in well.
Jordan, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And next up, we have our quarterback, number 8, Kenny Pickett. Thanks for joining us, Kenny.
Yeah, thanks for having me. How you guys doing?
Do you have any questions for Kenny?
Kenny, Pat likes to say the biggest step all season is between week 1 and week 2. But then he said he was a little disappointed in sort of the mistakes today. Sort of how do you view the progress from last week to this week as an offense?
I mean, listen, we got our first ACC win, but it was definitely a sloppy game. Didn't play the kind of football we need to play to go where we want to go. It's almost a good thing it happened. We persevered, we came, and we got the win, which is all that matters. So we're going to learn from the film, and then, really, my message to the team is we're coming ready to practice this week. We got a big game, and it all starts in practice.
Kenny, what's it been like developing a relationship with Jordan? And, obviously he comes in as a freshman. I'm sure you want to get to know all the freshmen, but to have a freshman be your leading receiver for 2 games is probably a pretty unusual situation. What do you feel like what went into all that?
I would say, early on, I saw that, his talent level, and he's a special kid, and he really off the field in his personality and the way he, it's like he's a junior almost or a sophomore. It's not like he's a true freshman the way he goes about his business. So that's probably the most impressive part that I've seen from him, and I just really love playing with him.
Ken, you were able to get Jared Wayne involved. You were able to get Jared Wayne involved. He caught 3 passes on that one possession. How big was that to be able to get him involved in the offense since he hasn't had a lot of production yet up until this point?
Right. Getting Jared involved was big. He missed a little bit of last week, so when he was here this week of practice, just got the timing back down and moved him around a little bit to get him some touches. He's another guy, reminds me just like Jordan. Those 2 guys kind of resemble each other a lot with how they go about their business. 2 pros that are both young players, so really excited to have those 2 guys.
Kenny, Pat said it was a good week of practice. Were you surprised that things were a little sloppy at times today?
No, listen, they're a really tough team. They play hard. You watched that North Carolina game. It was, a really tight game going into the fourth quarter, and then the kind of wheels fell off for them. But, they're a real tough team. They play hard, got some good players. 7's a good player. 6 is good, 2 in the secondary. One of the better secondaries we'll probably see in terms of athleticism and speed. And, they mixed it up a lot. So, it was definitely a challenge, and we knew going into it it'd be a 4-quarter game.
Kenny, Pat said after the game that he thought, I guess, on your interception, it was a drag route, and did you think that they were going to be in man and not have a guy sitting there in zone? What did you see there?
They were in man, and the kid did a good job of coming off and making a play. I didn't see him. I crossed him out early in the progression because of, what I saw. But I got to be better there. I can't turn it over in the red zone, so it's something that I'll learn from and move on.
Any final questions for Kenny?
Thanks, guys.
Kenny, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Next up, we have defensive end number 17, Rashad Weaver. Team high 7 tackles, 3 TFLs, 2 sacks today. Rashad, congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Do we have any questions for Rashad?
Rashad, was there any rust out there today? It didn't look like it didn't seem to take you very long to get going.
Not rust, but games will never be the same as practice. You try to go full speed in practice, but when there's plays out there on the line and the lights are out, you go a little harder and you have to do it every play. You can't kind of take a play off like you can in practice. So I think I left a lot of plays out there, and I'll be better next week. That's the biggest way I feel coming out of this game.
You got a sack on a 3rd and long. Was that how did it feel to get that one?
Again, I was happy, but at the same time, I wish I would have tackled him a little cleaner and just thinking about other plays I could have made. You try not to think about other plays. You try to go on the next play, but it's always in the back of your mind. That's how I felt out there. I was happy and excited, but I felt like should have been a cleaner tackle, no doubt about it, because it'll come back to haunt you in the games later during the season if you don't finish them up clean.
Rashad, how eager were you to get on the field today after kind of obviously missing all of last season and then kind of what happened last week, I guess?
I felt like a little kid on Christmas. Last night I was sitting with my eyes closed for like 30 minutes trying to fall asleep, and I couldn't. And then I did finally fell asleep, and woke up at like 3:40 in the morning, energized, checking my phone, hoping it was 7 o'clock. So I was very eager. I tried to control it as best as I could, but I couldn't.
What was this week like for you, Rashad? You know, with testing and the up and down, and then not getting to play on Saturday.
I mean, we're on to the next week now, but it is what it is. Sometimes you wish it would have just been all positive or all negative. The conflicting test is what made it a little harder, but that's in the past now, and we'll move forward every week.
Rashad, this defense really kind of took a step last year, and you finally got to play with all these guys and see it in action. How did it feel to like actually be a part of it now?
It felt great, and we're a defense that wants to be great. We disappointed in the first half. They shouldn't have scored, is how we personally felt, and we'll just continue cleaning it up. And we think we were pretty good today, but we're trying to be great every week, and great defenses don't make mistakes.
Any other questions for Rashad?
Rashad, the turnover hoop, is that the new thing? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
We had it last year. I think it was out a lot last year. We were breaking it, bending it. I need to get on that, get some strip sacks or something, or some fumbles. And I told him if I get a strip sack, I'm putting my whole elbow in there like Vince Carter, so we're going to need a new one. But that's been our thing, and we'll continue doing that, and we hope we get to use it more times than we did today in one game. So.
Rashad, what did you think about your teammates up front? You guys were getting pressure from a lot of different angles, so I can't see getting involved, and a lot of other guys too.
Them young guys, we love to see it. Us older guys, we're at a point when you see the guys that maybe not be starting or a little younger, you get more excited for them than I do myself, because I know when I'm gone and I'm tuning into Pitt games that they're in good hands and they know what they're doing, and that kind of stuff just hypes me up to get back in the next rep. I love seeing when Kalijah was getting those sacks, I was jumping down on the sideline more than I was celebrating on my own sack, so it just feels good to see that.
Rashad, that 4th and 3 sack, I guess it seemed just like a speed rush and you just beat your guy. I mean, did you know that you would have a step on him, or what was, I guess, kind of the plan going into that?
I mean, I knew it was a pass play from some of our tendencies. I was set up to come off the edge fast. He took a step down. I don't know if he thought he wasn't supposed to have me, and he tried to come back out to me, and he was just a little too late.
Rashad, it's been a while for you. How do you feel after this one?
Like an old man. I'm going to get in the ice tub. I feel like I just got beat up by 8 people at the same time, if I'm being honest, but not a bad beat up. I just played a full football game, but definitely not used to it. Like I said, it's not practice.
Rashad, thank you for your time.
Appreciate you guys.
Congratulations again.
Have a good weekend.
Next up, we have safety number 3, Damar Hamlin. Damar, thanks for joining us.
No problem. How y'all doing?
Questions for Damar?
Damar, Syracuse only had 1 yard of offense in the 4th quarter. Is that something you guys kind of embrace when the game's a little bit close, that you guys can kind of keep things under wraps?
Yeah, we just keep our mentality of just never quitting, never stopping, no matter the situation. I'm actually proud of us today. We handled a lot of like situations where we bad field position or anything like that, and we just kept it rolling.
What Damar seemed to kind of break down on that long touchdown pass that they had?
Just a missed assignment. Something we knew as soon as it happened that we were going to clean up and that it wasn't going to happen again. Wasn't as clean as we liked it, but we came out with a win. So we'll correct it in practice, and we'll do better next week.
Tomorrow, the guy next to Harris got the interception. Has that been something you guys feel like you could make a bigger impact on this year? Is taking the ball away, especially on some of those overthrows across the middle like that one was?
Yes, sir. We do turnover drills every day in practice, and just being able to affect the game like that and getting the ball back to our offense. We just try to do that as much as we can. I tell Kenny every time they come off the field that we're going to get them the ball back. So we're trying to get a turnover every possession.
Damar, as a fellow senior, I mean, how do you kind of, assess or how happy, I guess, are you for Rashad Weaver and kind of the way that, he came back finally getting in and getting a couple sacks there?
Man, I love playing with Weave. Just having him out there, it's just like a different confidence, just having him out there. He's a game changer, and even more. So just having him out there, he's just a force and a presence, and I can't wait to keep playing with him.
DeMar, how do you approach a week of practice coming up after your defense played well, the quarterback played well, but the game wasn't as smooth as you would like it to be?
Well, like you said, it wasn't as smooth as we'd like it to be. So we see there's a lot of room for improvement, and we had a mistake giving them a touchdown. So the game could have been a lot cleaner. So I'm pretty sure, me personally, I know I got a lot to work on, and I know the way the mentality is with the guys. They all know that there's more to work on. It's another game, so it's another week to get better. That's how we look at it.
DeMar, we had heard that the other number 3 was giving you guys some problems through training camp. What's it like seeing him cut loose on the ACC's secondaries there with Addison?
It's great to see him finally getting his chance to play against someone else instead of us, and be excelling. Once I seen him at practice, he was like the most like pure and for sure hands like I've seen in a while, and I've told him that I think he's going to be ACC Freshman All-American.
Any final questions for DeMar? All right, DeMar, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And that concludes our post-game press conference. Thank you all for joining us. We will be sending this video out shortly. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, things look that